This little guy right here, yeah, he's responsible for building all my software. Hi there, Adam here. Today we're going to talk about how to build software completely autonomously without even touching it, without typing anything into the command line, just letting it run on its own in a clean environment. So now you may be asking yourself, well, what's a clean environment? Personally, I define a clean environment as a raw computer with nothing else on it but what's needed to build the software that you're building. And the best way to attain that is to start with a Linux distribution and install your software from source code onto that Linux distribution and then build it from there. So once you've achieved that, once you've got the software to be actually building on the system, now what you want is to install some sort of a build management software. Now we're not talking like running scripts like Ant or Maven or whatever. We're talking about a full-on web service that can run anywhere on any machine, control other machines, and build the software that you're trying to build and then export it out to the internet so that other people can use it. Let's get started and talk a little bit about Jenkins. Alright, so you've gone ahead and you've written all your code, and the part that a lot of people bypass is the tests. Now these tests right here, it seems like a lot of extra work and everything. But really, when it comes to a build automation system, these tests ensure consistency of everything that you do. So you can test everything every time you build anything as far as a project goes. Now let's take a look over at the Jenkins server. Now this Jenkins here, what this does is it actually provides the testing framework and building framework required for everything as far as all of my projects go that relate to the casual project, that is. This is at thecasualdev.com. So what this is you can see the statuses of all the builds. Like these ones have had problems in the past, but they're all good now. This one in particular though, this is something I'm working on. It hasn't yet passed because it's not actually available yet. It's not ready yet. So you guys are seeing a little bit of a preview here, sort of. Okay, so now what's the benefit of this? What overall does it do? Okay, so what we're going to look at is we will take a look at the casual project right here. So we can take a look at all the past build records right here. And if we go into one of these, we can take a look at the console output from it. Now you see here, most of this log that we're taking a look at right now is testing data. There's 83 kilobytes of testing data. I take tests seriously, alright? There's 83 kilobytes of data being stored with each build of casual. And that includes everything from testing every little component down to building the Java docs. Alright? So, now this doesn't just apply to Java as well. It can be for Android, it can be for anything, alright? As long as you can build it from the command line, you can build it from Jenkins. So if we open up Project Casual right here, being that I am a administrator of this project, I can configure this project, alright? This is a button that everyone else doesn't have access to, but you can view the parameters of the build and you can do all that online without logging in. And you notice here, we have this anonymous user, and I've configured that so that people can read, discover, build it if they want to. They can take a look at anything they want, but they can't configure it. This configuration screen is very powerful. You should think of this configuration screen as being the exact same thing as a Linux terminal. So when you run this thing, you're actually running as Jenkins at casualdev.com. Now this Jenkins, he doesn't have a login, so don't try to hack his password or anything. You can't do it. Alright, so what happens when you actually run a project? We hit the Build Now button. The very first thing that's going to do is going to set up all these project environmental variables, and it's going to start with the source code management. And the first thing it does is it goes to androidcasual.googlecode.com and downloads the Subversion repository. Next thing it'll do is it will go and start executing shell commands. Now this shell command right here, what this will do is it will actually revert the source code back to the latest version. And then it invokes Ant. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, Ant is a build system. Not a fully automatic build system, but it is a build system that uses scripts in XML format. And that build.xml, when it's called without any targets, the default version, it will actually build and test everything that's in that build file. So what does that mean exactly? Well, you can take a look at what it's doing right here. Let's take a look. Let's leave this page. And you can see that as it's going on through, it's actually showing you what this thing is doing when it's doing it. And that is the beauty of a build system, is you can actually sit there and you can watch what's going on in real time as it's being built on a clean environment computer. After it's done, it sends out emails if there's problems. It publishes Java docs to javadoc.casualdev.com, and it also builds other projects. Now, being that it can build all these other projects as well, that allows for a cascade effect. So you can build a library here, another library here, and then once that's done, you can build your actual application. And that way you can build and test each library along the way and make sure that all your code as a whole works properly. So now, as you can see here, what's happening is it's actually creating a whole bunch of different projects and doing that cascade effect. So one of the things that's kind of cool that I have set up is the to-do project. And this is what it looks like. It looks kind of like Google Now, huh? So I can go on through and I can click on any one of these icons here, and I can view where the problem is, what the to-do is, and you can see it's highlighted right there. To-do, examine if this is the cleanest way to handle this. These little to-dos, instead of it just being something that's available in your IDE, you can actually have Jenkins parse that out into something more useful like this. So in a nutshell, that is a basic overview of how a Jenkins system works. Alright, now there is a lot to it. You do need to have your coding skills. You do need to build this once the first time, but after that, what it allows you to do is just keep a hands-off, completely hands-off approach, and all you have to do is publish your source code, and everything is automatically built and tested. So now the final part about it is you want to publish your stuff, right? I mean, there's no good in building software if you can't publish it. So here's one that's pretty interesting. The Joden 3 website. Now, a lot of you have used this to flash your Samsung devices, and I'm going to show you exactly what goes into building it. So what happens is it uses the same workspace as Project Casual, so the source code is always updated. But what this does is it first invokes Ant. Next thing it'll do is it will optimize the images for the web, all these PNG crush, all these files that are used in the Joden 3 project get PNG crushed, and then this is where the majority of everything happens. Now, it is kind of a long, complicated process to do it, but what it basically does is we have all of our builds online accessible, and we have build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and when build 11 is made, it then gets symlinked. The contents of build 11 get symlinked right into the project, and then it just operates naturally and everything just flows. So the next person who comes along and accesses those files on that website, it just accesses the symlinks that were created from this project right here. So now after it's published to the casual dev site, which is just a matter of moving files around, what we end up doing is we actually SCP in to another website, the goo.im website, and what we do is we actually, using SSH, we send the files across the internet over to be accessed by goo.im. And you can see here, these are all the different builds that are available. And these builds are the same ones that you will find on this website as well. So goo.im and the Joden 3 website and everything, it's all taken care of, all by the Jenkins that runs the casual dev site. And as I was saying before, this is the little guy right here who makes the builds. Can you see that on camera? I hope you can. Yeah, there you go. So that's about all for this episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Maybe you got to look at a little bit more professional way of building software than just hitting F5 all the time, and then when it works, you publish it. This method that I'm using here is used by many respectable businesses, and you can find out more by just going to the links down in the description down below. That's about all for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Add me to your circles on Google Plus by going to plus.adamoutler.com. And I'll see you next time, guys. Hack on.